At 87, a man finally tells his wife the truth, a truth he's kept hidden for decades, weighing on his heart with every passing year. After 43 years of living with a secret, he decides it's time to come clean, to finally let go of the burden he's carried for so long. It sounds like a tabloid headline, something you'd read in bold print at the checkout counter. But the truth is, stories like this are far more common than we realize. We all keep secrets, little white lies, omissions, and things we'd rather not discuss. Sometimes, these secrets are harmless, but other times, they quietly shape our lives and relationships. These are the quiet burdens we carry, often for a lifetime. They become part of us, shaping our choices and the way we see ourselves. I once met a man named George, and his story reminded me that sometimes the heaviest things we carry aren't physical at all. They're the truths we're afraid to speak out loud. George's story isn't about a grand betrayal or a dramatic revelation. Instead, it's about the slow, almost invisible erosion of connection that happens when we hide parts of ourselves from those we love most. We often convince ourselves that keeping secrets protects others from pain, but in reality, we're usually protecting ourselves from judgment, from discomfort, from the fear of being truly seen. At 87, George looked back on his 65-year marriage and saw a single, persistent shadow. A truth he held for 43 years, always present, never spoken. His story is proof that it's never too late to seek honesty, no matter how much time has passed. The freedom that comes with truth is worth facing the fear, and the relief can be life-changing. Let me tell you about George, a man who found the courage to speak his truth, and in doing so, discovered a new sense of peace. We all tell lies, small ones, to keep the peace or avoid discomfort. We say, "I'm fine," when we're not. We tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow." These small deceptions become habits, building walls in our closest relationships. We curate a version of ourselves that's polished but lonely. George's story is about the weight of unspoken truths. Imagine carrying a pebble in your pocket. Add one every day for years. Soon, you're weighed down. Secrets are invisible burdens that shape our lives. We keep them out of fear, of rejection, of causing pain, of disrupting comfort. But true connection doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the messy, vulnerable space of shared truth. George's lesson: empty your pockets, one pebble at a time. Trust that those who love you will help carry the weight. It's not about judging secret keepers, but understanding why we do it, and realizing we can choose honesty even now. George was 87 when I met him. He and Eleanor had been married 65 years. Their home was filled with memories, but for 43 years, George held a secret. In 1983, George invested their savings, $10,000, into a risky business with his friend Frank, without telling Eleanor. He told himself it was for her, for them, hoping to surprise her with success. But the business failed, and the money was gone. George's shame was different from Frank's. It was secret, and it grew. He covered the loss with vague answers and changed subjects. The $10,000 became a ghost in their marriage, a topic he avoided for decades. The first brick in the wall was laid with that omission. Over time, the wall grew higher, built from small evasions. George's secret wasn't about money. It was about the distance it created. For 43 years, he carried that weight alone, until he couldn't anymore. For decades, George's secret was like furniture in a dark room, always there, easy to walk around. When Eleanor passed away, the silence in their home grew louder. In her absence, George found himself talking to her more than ever. One afternoon, he sat in her chair and told her everything about Frank, the lost money, the years of evasion. He cried quiet, weary tears as he unburdened himself. When he finished, the silence felt different, like acceptance, not absence. He felt a peace he hadn't known in years. "I know she's gone," he told me, "but in that moment, I felt closer to her than ever." By telling the truth, even to her memory, he made their story whole. The secret was no longer his alone. It was finally laid to rest. Sometimes, the person we need to be honest with is ourselves, and sometimes, it's never too late. George's story echoed in his family and neighbors. His son David lost his job at 55 but hid it for months, pretending everything was fine. He wanted to protect his parents, just as George once did. The truth came out in crisis, and the family rallied, but the months of silent struggle left scars. George saw his own past in David's pain. Then there was Walter, George's neighbor, who suffered chronic pain in silence. He didn't want to be a burden, so he withdrew, growing isolated. After Walter died, his wife found journals full of pain and loneliness. She wasn't relieved to be spared his suffering. She was heartbroken she couldn't share it. These stories show hiding pain doesn't make it disappear. It only makes us lonely. The cost of silence is connection. We often try to protect those we love by carefully managing what they know, believing that shielding them from difficult truths is an act of kindness. We carry the weight of worry and uncertainty on our own shoulders, thinking we're sparing them pain. I remember a colleague who once filtered the truth about his wife's illness from their adult children. He convinced himself that by keeping the details hidden, he was protecting them from unnecessary fear and anxiety. But his children sensed something was wrong. The distance grew, and they felt shut out, mistrusted, and unable to help. The silence became its own kind of pain. When the truth finally emerged, it brought not relief, but a wave of frustration and sadness. The family felt betrayed by the secrecy, not comforted by the intention. "Dad, we're not kids," his daughter said, her voice trembling. "By hiding the truth, you made us outsiders in our own family. We wanted to be there for you, for Mom, and for each other." In trying to carry the burden alone, he denied them their role in the family's journey. He took away their chance to support, to grieve, and to love fully. This is the paradox we face. While we think we're sparing others, we're actually placing a different burden on them. The burden of the unknown, of feeling excluded, of not being trusted with the truth. People are often stronger than we realize. They can handle the truth, even when it's hard. What they can't handle is being kept in the dark, left to imagine the worst, or feeling like they don't belong. Secrecy breeds mistrust and insecurity, creating distance where there should be closeness. George realized too late that he hadn't truly protected Eleanor. He'd denied her the partnership and honesty that their relationship was built on. True love means sharing the hard parts, not just the easy ones. It means facing challenges together, even when it hurts. Honesty is an act of trust, a gift we give to those we love. It's how we show them they matter, and that we believe in their strength. When George finally spoke his secret, he felt release, not sadness. It was like putting down a heavy bag he'd carried for years. Honesty is a gift, not just for the listener, but for the speaker. It frees energy once spent on hiding and redirects it toward connection and healing. This freedom transforms relationships. When we're honest about our failures and fears, we give others permission to do the same. George's openness with his daughter led her to share her own anxieties. Their relationship deepened in ways it hadn't in years. Real intimacy grows from shared imperfections. The freedom George felt was the freedom to be fully himself. Honesty is the soil where true connection grows. It's never too late to be real. Revealing a secret can feel terrifying, but you don't have to start big. Begin with one small truth instead of one small lie. Tell your spouse, "I've had a hard day," instead of "I'm fine." Vulnerability is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start with someone you trust, in a quiet moment. Frame it as connection, not confession. The goal is to close distance, to build a bridge. Each small act of honesty makes the next one easier. Don't wait until you're 87 or until it's too late. The weight of unspoken truths only grows heavier. Today, put down one small pebble. These small acts are the building blocks of a life where you're fully known. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself and those you love. In the end, what matters most in our lives? When we look back, what truly stands out? It's not the long list of things we did, or the achievements we collected, but the truths we kept hidden, the words we never dared to say. Deep down, the ultimate human desire is to be seen, understood, and loved for who we really are, without masks, without fear. George's story is a powerful lesson for all of us. His good marriage became a truly complete one only when he found the courage to finally share his secret, opening his heart fully to his partner. True love isn't about perfection or hiding our flaws. It's about saying, "This is me, all of me, the good and the bad." If this idea resonates with you, don't ignore it. Explore it further. Reflect on your own life and relationships. There are guides, books, and resources out there to help you find the right words, to help you open up and connect more deeply. Let George's story be a gentle nudge, a reminder that it's never too late to be honest with yourself and those you love. No matter your age, it's never too late to close the gap between who you are and who you pretend to be, to let your true self be seen. The people who love you most want the real you, not some perfect version you think they expect. Being truly known, fully accepted, and understood is the destination we all long for, the place where we find peace. Honesty, shared one small truth at a time, is the path that leads us there. Each step brings us closer to real connection. Take the first step today, no matter how small. Reach out, share a truth, or simply start a conversation. You might be surprised by the peace, relief, and freedom you discover when you let yourself be truly known. It's a journey worth taking, one that leads to deeper love, greater understanding, and a life lived authentically.